I think this would be good right here. So if you're not seeing you, that means you need to come over. Welcome, welcome to UMOJA Caribbean. Yes, online radio talk show, Facebook, and we're going to go live right now on our YouTube page. So there are places you can check us out, okay? Facebook at UMOJA Caribbean Union Inc. So tell a friend, share it, or on our online, that's YouTube page, all right? So check us out, check us out. So without further delay, because we appreciate you tuning into us Wednesdays and Saturdays, giving thanks, of course, being here today, you know, hey, we just have to give thanks.
Quite a surprise today. You know, surprise.
And I'm sure you will tell us about that.
Quite a surprise today. With the location, look where we are.
Well, we will definitely get into that momentarily. But as always, for those who are tuning in for the first time and they need to know who or what is UMOJA Caribbean Union, well, I'm going to share this with you right now. I don't know what's going on with our YouTube, but it says going live. Anyway, so UMOJA Caribbean Union Inc. The purpose of this nonprofit corporation is to unify and empower the people of the Virgin Islands and the Caribbean, both home and abroad, through Afrocentric educational, economical, and agricultural means by creating a system of human equality with the governing principles of know yourself for your greatest harmonious potential, love, balance, harmony, order, truth, righteousness, justice, reciprocity, freedom, and some of our objects. Can you read that?
Yes. We can establish educational, economical, and agricultural programs. We can establish real estate division, acquire properties in town, country, and other locations, render assistance in sickness and other distresses, secure legislation in the interest of our members and the people of the Virgin Islands. Establish credit unions, banks, and financial institutions to include insurance companies. Enter into agreement in the best interest of our members. How can this be done?
Well, definitely members' participation. So we have various committees where members can participate. So it's like finding your interests, where, you know, what gravitates to you the most. So we have Public Affairs Committee, which is responsible for dissemination of information by way of newsletters, social media, and any other means to include community outreach.
Right. Now,
we have the research.
Yeah, the Research Committee, which is a very important committee. I mean, they're all important, but the Research Committee is really one of the cornerstones. Home Gardening Committee. It's an excellent way to teach and to connect. Skills Committee. This is identifying skilled individuals or groups to conduct workshops and training. Bargaining Unit Committee, negotiating better working conditions, fair wages, and other areas in which a group of employees are in need of representation. How do you join?
How do you join? So if you are unemployed, self-employed, employed, you can join UCU. So there's a one-time entrance fee of $15, and then based on your category, dues start as low as $3. Now, if you're in our bargaining unit committee, that percentage goes based on your gross pay. And also, if not being a member of UCU, you can sponsor us. So we by sending donations to our PayPal account under UMOJA Caribbean Union at gmail.com or our website at ucu.webs.com, and send a check or money order to P.O. Box 3168 Kings Hill, VI 00851. So definitely, we are on Facebook. Check us out for further information at UMOJA Caribbean Union Inc. And we do have another page, that's UMOJA Caribbean Union Inc. Departments, where you can get your free copy of our newspaper and our past newsletters as well. So go to Files and download this. It's on PDF for free. Also, it's available on our website. Again, that's ucu.webs.com. So now let's share some information about our sponsors. Why don't we?
Yes, do that. Trinity Health is Wealth, right? Natural foods, natural drinks, and it's 429 King Street.
Right.
429 King Street. That's Fredericksburg. Right. Telephone number is area code 340-772-1414. That's an easy number to remember. Trinity. Now listen, Trinity has been there over 20. I would say closer to 30 years. You know, he has perfected a very powerful plate, several powerful plates. He also sells yaba pots.
And that's negus we're talking about from Untitled Trinity.
Negus, right? And as a chef in his own right, certainly if he competed with others, I'm sure that he would, well, his longevity just tells you that. Alma's, 53 King Street, right there in front, Fredericksburg. Alma's it's a powerful place. Oils, shea butter, cocoa butter, natural deodorants, toothpaste, herbs, incense. She has a wealth of incense there. Remember, I buy all my incense there, right? Teas and much, much more, lotions and soaps, and you know, Alma's is very important, and she's been there almost over 20 some years. You know, just building from, you know, I remember when she was back there in the leader's court. Then we have Studio 413, Salon and Spa. Where is this located?
That's at Baron Spot.
That's at Baron Spot.
Yes, Suite 107.
This is very new.
The location.
The
yes.
location.
Yes,
Okay.
the location. So definitely you can go and get your natural hair care and your skin and nail care there at Studio 413. And
a powerful sponsor.
yes.
We have,
and make an appointment. Yes, try and make an appointment. But sometimes they do allow walk-ins, and the phone number there is 340-690-6046.
Right. Nestor's in Fredericksburg again. Nestor did a tremendous job during the hurricane. His place, it fortified people in communication to the States and other places. He did a tremendous job. He was the only one in town open, really, dealing with that kind of communication level. You know, retail liquors, and he also has, he has some of everything in that store. I mean, all kind of tourist luggage. He has, he does faxing. He does all kind of to me, he's a communication expert in a certain kind of way, you know. And I used to teach him in high school, so I have to say, you know,
it's good to see one of your students really
self-sufficient,
definitely
entrepreneur,
and you can find almost anything really that you need at Nestor's.
That's right. Next is
Raquel's.
Oh, Raquel's, yes.
Yeah.
Raquel's. That's another lovely store right there in Leaders Court, 53 King Street, and she has all kind of accessories for jewelry, adornments, clothing. What else? She has an assorted bangles. You know, the bangles that you wear on your wrist. You know, and that's just
earrings. Yes. You name it. When it comes to fashion, definitely you want to check out Raquel's Fashion Accessories and Wear.
Yeah.
And she has a website in which you can actually do your shopping there. That's www.raquelsfashion.net. Or, you know, if you can't visit her in person, you can go online, as was said, and then you can contact her at 321-370-7991. So that's Raquel's Fashion, Accessories, and Wear. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And last, well, it's not last because we have to tell you where we are, right? So we have one more that's posted on our newspaper, and that's the #1 spot on island to play pool. Yes. So you pool lovers or you want to be pool players, definitely you want to check out A&L Professional Billiards. They're located at 145 VI Corp Land, which is East Airport Road. And you can phone them at 340-220-5133 or check them out on Facebook at STX Billiards. They're open Wednesday and Sunday, 4 p.m. to 1 o'clock a.m. Yes, I know, 1 o'clock a.m. What are you doing up so early in the morning, right? But anyway, we want to give special thanks again. Oh, did we do Right Way?
No, we didn't.
Right Way. Yes, if service station, you need to get your gas, do a little
Convenience.
shopping
convenience shop.
they have a convenience store as well. So they're locally owned. They accept ATM. You can pay at the pump, and they're located at La Grande Princess.
And they're very hospitable. You know, they really have that, you know, the Caribbean hospitality.
And they're next to the Avis, okay? So,
Right.
red and yellow. So go and check them out and actually visit all our sponsors. Tell them that, hey, you heard their ad being broadcasted here on our Facebook Live or even on our online radio. So let me just say this special note here. The commentaries or views in our newsletter or even on air, okay, it's not necessarily associated with any of our sponsors or advertisers, okay, so just have to plug that in. So now, where are we? Oh, wow. Of course, I'm sure if you haven't already been hearing the pound in the background, well, this is a very interesting location where pounding takes place, okay? Art takes place, you name it. And if you can see our the ceiling right now, it's like, wow, you know.
This is a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful, beautiful place. So, yes, so we are at C.H.A.NT. And do you know who this young lady is? Maybe.
Not so young.
Well, go ahead, Frandel Gerard, and please.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us here at C.H.A.NT.
C.H.A.NT, that is where we are at.
Peruvian Heritage and Nature Tourism, located at, technically it's number 17 Queen Street, but we say 217 Custom House Street, downtown Frederickstead. It's our cultural center, and if you hear in the background, that's the wood workshop upstairs where we have apprentices and young trainees working in the wood shop.
Well, so can you tell us what each letter stands for?
Certainly, it stands for C.H.A.NT with a C, Heritage and Nature Tourism, Inc. And we are a Virgin Islands nonprofit initially founded to promote sustainable cultural heritage and nature tourism. And our motto is development from within. So our goal is to develop, we call them providers, but entrepreneurs, be they tour guides, tour operators, artisans, craftspeople, hoteliers, from within the community, and to make sure that our tourism product reflects the people of St. Croix, and that we tell the authentic Crucian story. So we do a lot of training in rural Virgin Islands, specifically St. Croix history and culture, so that it is a African Caribbean narrative that we share with our visitors.
And this location in particular, have you all been here for a long time where we are at right now?
No, we've only been here, we're just the end of this month, beginning our third year We've been here for 2 years, and we came here as a result of the damage to our previous facilities from Hurricane Maria. And we were fortunate to locate this space and be able to relocate all of our operations under one roof. Sometimes a very noisy roof, but one roof. So we're really grateful to have this location.
Awesome. And besides having this building, can you share with us? I'm seeing the sign, but you know what?
You can pick up.
Yes, let me show you all. Let's do this here. All right, so it says Frederickstead Community Garden. Can you tell us more about this?
Sure. We're actually, the garden was started, I'm going to say about 6 years ago, on a parcel of land at the head of town on the south side of King Street in Frederickstead, a place the local people call Foster. But it's the beginning of Estate Two Brothers, right up from Marley Project. And it is a space that has been made available to members of the community to do gardening. So we have almost 2-acre parcel. We have as many as 50 small plots that are available to individual members. And we have anywhere from, it depends on, we have the ability to also give larger plots to people who want to begin gardening on a more commercial basis. So our goal is to have people increase their food independence and be able to grow their own food and support their health. We're partnering right now with Rotary West and Rotary International, as well as Wheat Growth, the Good Food Coalition, headed up by Summer Sibley Brown. Summer Sibley Brown. So we'll be kicking off and opening up sign-ups and getting gardening restarted on the space. We haven't been able to really restart since the hurricane.
Right. And, let me see. We will touch on the community garden in a minute because we're actually going to do a workshop, and it's all tied to, getting your hands dirty in a good way, learning how to actually build box garden, but definitely there will be giveaways, and one I would say it's like you will get a plant or so or more, and gardening is essential, growing is essential, so definitely looking forward to that workshop.
Thank you.
But in this particular building where we're at, I know you house or you allow for community activities to take place.
We do. I mean, we really are trying to build it as a cultural center. So we've been able to have, art displays, exhibits, community gatherings, meetings, trainings. And when we say that, they haven't all been, chant activities. For small, independent, community-based organizations that need a space for a specific gathering, we do have the ability to make the space available. We are not an event space, we're not for weddings and that sort of thing. So we do, we do make it available for community partners.
Right. And which brings me now to share with you, the viewing and listening audience, one of the partners, and that is the St. Croix Council of Elders. Right. So we've been announcing from our community announcement page about St. Croix Council of Elders and the gathering, meetings, and what have you. So this is actually the location where the St. Croix Council of Elders meet on Wednesdays, the third Wednesday of each month. So, you want to stick with it?
I can switch out.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So
If
thank
need
you,
me again,
Randall, for sharing that information about chant. But now, we have here with us Ia Eldris, Tahira Abubakar, and co-founder of the St. Croix Council of Elders. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Glad to have you here with us. So I've been sharing about just the announcements, as I said, about when St. Croix Council of Elders meet, where one can contact St. Croix Council of Elders. But could you please share with the viewers, the listeners as well about St. Croix Council of Elders? You know, the purpose. You know, just a summary. You know, and why was this created?
Well, one of the reasons our Council of Elders was created, back in 2014, there was much discussion going on, and a large call went out to more or less around the world for councils of elders and people to really call themselves forth as elders in their community and began to take responsibility for what was going on in the community. But at the time here, we knew that there was a own surge of violence and that it was necessary for us to take a stand. So how do we answer that call? What is our role? How we began to weave into place a kind of wisdom community that can stand on its own and be responsible and informed about ways that it can respond to what's going on in the community, educating and holding themselves accountable. So the Council of Elders, one, stands to hold themselves accountable and weave into place a kind of, we may say that an architectural, a foundation that has been lost to us as an indigenous people. Yes, we have had elders in our community throughout the diaspora. Basically, we found that foundation is very strongly based in the churches, but not so much in our community. But as we look in history and look back at ourselves, we notice that with the onset of industrialization, especially in the America, I don't know so much in these islands, but all of us are influenced in some way by colonialism, and this whole foundation for elders has been like put on the back burner, so to speak. We have no place for elder voices in our community. We have a place for elderly people.
Yeah, so pardon the interruption as we are here at C.H.A.NT, and they are working on, in a few we will share some of the artworks or the crafts that has been done.
But we do have, and that's one of the other things. I think it's sort of redefining and weaving into place a foundation. And as we do that, we are defining ourselves and refining that for ourselves in a way that it can really be a platform in the community, that it can really respond to educating and upholding the community in a responsible way.
So, couple things, and we have some further information about the St. Croix Council of Elders posted in our community announcement, where some words of wisdom was shared, and there's a quote from what you expressed, which is, "Elders are those qualified by the wisdom of life experiences, not simply by years lived, who have assumed a willingness to usher the extended family and community through life's passages. Elders offer guideposts for building and navigating sustainability in our communities." So I would say for the most part, what really got me paying real attention is when you said elders are those qualified by the wisdom of life experiences. And although, let's say, do you have to be at a particular age to be a part of the St. Croix Council of Elders, or do you, as you said, usher the experiences that one may have?
Well, if we really look at from an indigenous culture, look at even our African ancestry and lineage, that always there was a responsible format for elders to exist in a community. And I think as a result of our African people enslavement and all that has occurred, that we have lost that format to a large extent in terms of how do you continue to have a responsible council of elders. And when we look at life passages, this is part of a life passage. This is how, if we go from the time of birth and looking at African culture, we know that each one of these passages demand and call for a particular response in our culture. As an adult person, a young adult, the elders usually recede into the background and be kind of like the nurturing that other forward movement. So that would be, say, like the idea, say we in our 40s and early 50s. At that point, the elders yield to the youth or the young adult to take the leadership role. And it is a continuing building of that foundation and strengthening that foundation in the community by recognizing that life is about passion, and all of us go through those different life and different passages of the life, and they call to us for a certain response. So we would like to think that the Council of Elders is always building on itself, building from those who are in the community, that we have mentees. We mentor that age group that's behind us so they can take that responsibility. Because unless we pull forth and have a variety of people in responding to what it is to serve in their community from that place of wisdom, a foundation of wisdom, we're going to lose that momentum again. And that's what has happened over the years. Most often we have the older people that step in, but we don't allow for the younger people to come in and take leadership. We overshadow that in some ways, as opposed to stepping back and begin to mentor that place and mentor those younger adults into place in our community. It's almost like if you could understand how to meet each other at a crossroad. So we meted the young people to inform the older people about what's going on. And the older people inform the young people. It's two ways. There is things going out and there's things coming in. That's how the universe works. And when we learn to stand at those different, I like to call them crossroads, that we being informed. Young people can inform the elders about media, how to use a computer, what's going on in the outside world. And the elders can inform them about ways that they can balance that and be more responsible, taking responsibility for themselves. For example, if we had conversation around violence in our community, and we really was dealing with violence in our community from an indigenous perspective, we would be calling for a responsibility that instead of imprisoning our young adults, we would be calling for a format where we hold that young adult responsible and have that young adult look at that violence and how it not only affected him or her, it affected the community, it affects your family, it affects the family that you inflicted the violence on. So how would we respond to that? We as the elders would hold our young people accountable as opposed to sitting back and allowing for a system to build on their mistakes.
Real, definitely powerful.
That's the next,
example, definitely. You know what, Ia, for the sake of, we want people to come to the meeting this evening at here at C.H.A.NT. We are meeting what time? 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yeah, 6 o'clock p.m. So definitely, if you want to hear more of what Ia has to say, and even of others who have chosen to, be a part of the St. Croix Council of Elders, definitely you are encouraged to come this evening. Okay, so we're located at C.H.A.NT's building, and I guess I'll do a little view of outside so that you can't miss it. Okay, we're located in the town of Frederickstead, and It's near Lagoon. So I'll show you the posting soon, okay? But I don't know, any more words you want? Just a little, because we don't want to tell them everything and then they don't come. You know, we really would love you to come, and I will be there too, because yes, I'm an aspiring elder to be. Okay.
Not are we calling for community gathering, and one of the things we'd like to encourage people to show up every fourth Sunday of the month. We hold a gathering where we hold, you would say, the old time campground. I don't know if anybody can remember when the older people used to gather in communities, and we're gonna hold prayer service today. So we said, we're gonna not necessarily prayer service. We hold a sacred space where people can hold that energy and begin to look at how to hold ourselves accountable for what goes on in our community, energetically as well as physically. And that's one of the things that we do. Also, we do a community gathering. We will be looking at doing a community together. That's a format for storytelling, and gathered on the tamarind tree. I think the last time we did was what, a year now? More than a year ago?
I think so.
That's storytelling, and so that's one of the ways to get people out and get our elders, not to say all of us have to belong to an organization, to be a part of building and strengthening our community based on the legacy and the stories. How do we tell our stories and pass them on from generation to generation so we can strengthen our children and the generation in front of us?
Definitely. So definitely, that's wisdom sharing. And hey, people, let's embrace our elders with wisdom. Okay, we can definitely learn from such wisdom to help not only heal ourselves but to heal our community. So again, thank you, Ia, for sharing that information about the St.Croix Council of Elders and what's the purpose. And yes, please again, come this evening at 6 p.m. located at C.H.A.NT's building.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna just take a little break to show our viewers where the building is and some artwork here before we go into our program. So as you can see again, this is the you will see this post up at the top of Marley, where the Frederickson Community Garden. So look out for that posting. All right, and yes, so this is an artwork that was done sometime by African Southwell. Okay, so we have some great people who have since come through C.H.A.NT, and gonna share some more art that the young people have done. So definitely these are some beautiful work, and get involved with C.H.A.NT, especially. Some great things are happening here. Okay, definitely, definitely beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yes, so the noise that you've been hearing in the background, hey, this is the artwork. This is the place that they've been doing some craft. And I'll show you the building where C.H.A.NT is located, so you can come and visit C.H.A.NT. And again, even to where the St.Croix Council of Elders holds meetings. This is the building, okay, right behind me. It's kind of clear, but it's a two-story building. It's blue, and this is what you're going to look at. Okay, so hope to see you at C.H.A.NT, and wow. Okay, so all right, so all right, so I'm back, and again, thank you for tuning in with us. Oh wow! So we covered C.H.A.NT. You met Miss Frandel Gerard, who's the director of C.H.A.NT, and you just heard from Iya Tahira Abubakar from St. Croix Council of Elders. So we have like two dynamic groups, organizations that that we just interviewed. So we again appreciate you tuning into our online radio and our Facebook page. We will have to post this on YouTube because apparently there's some communication issues going on YouTube, but we will post it there. And let me go straight to the community announcement where what was mentioned earlier about UCU and C.H.A.NT, in which we are going to have a workshop on how to build a box garden. Yes, so UCU, and that workshop will be on November 2nd. That's right, November 2nd, a couple weeks from now, okay? Space is limited. As you see, like, there's a lot happening here, and, you know, the idea is to teach few people at a time so that, you know, if someone has a question, they can ask the instructor directly, and, you know, you'll have some time to just understand the process on how to build a box garden, and it's not just a box garden that you just have laid on the ground, but it's a standing box garden. So please take this opportunity to come and learn how to build a box garden. And also, this gives you an opportunity. Once you learn this, it's like the whole idea is each one teach one. So there is a small cost to this, and for our members, there is entrance is $10, and then for non-members it's $15. But definitely you will go away with such great knowledge and also some materials. Okay, so please contact UMOJA Caribbean Union at gmail.com or by phone 1-857-240-2854, and at least reserve a spot. And even if you're unable to come and someone wants to sponsor someone, you know, please let us know, and we will hold a spot for that person. So if you want to sponsor 1, 2, 3, 5 people or what have you, and you know you can do so, definitely contact us so that we could reserve the spots for people.
Excellent tool for teaching gardening. It's an excellent tool for, you know, even teaching how to hammer and saw, how to measure. You know, I mean, there's so much, you know, there's so much skill, so many skills in just building the box and planting the food. I mean, it's self-sufficiency skills, you know, which is what we need to bring our children into as soon as possible, as soon as they're able to walk, really.
Yes. Learn a skill that can carry you very far. So yeah, sometimes you really need to get hands-on, and there are some, you know, people who do better with hands-on things versus just would say just academic wise, just reading, you know, they do better with their hands.
The brain back in
Yeah. So this is an opportunity, and that is something definitely moving forward. We will have more skill activities, workshops, and training. So I'm looking forward for a couple months because we will definitely be doing that.
Absolutely.
So yes, you had some information you wanted to share, or
basically, you know, this is Domestic Violence Month that the Women's Coalition, Men's Coalition, and a number of the Health Department, a number of organizations are sponsoring it. And you know, we just recently had a good friend that was allegedly, killed in that manner, and so, or in that context, so I'm just reminded about self-development. I'm just reminded about being, looking at your strengths and looking at your weaknesses realistically and asking for help when you need help. Everyone needs help now and then, and being able to humble oneself to ask for it, especially as men. We have this, we're taught and conditioned to a certain way, but Hey, that's when we were boys and a young adult. As you get older, you know, you have to see through these things and develop from the inside out. You know, it's important.
But let me ask this question. Sometimes people are in denial that they need help. Like they may say that, oh, I don't need to get counseled, or you know, I can just take care of it myself. However, what others are seeing, you know, in terms of like their behaviors being destructive or what have you, they may tend to just like ignore what people are telling them. Is there a way, maybe if they confide in a small circle, would that be helpful? Like, you know, if they have like
Sometimes.
a close friend that, you know, say, hey, you know, I've been observing, you know, your behavior and stuff like that, and I think, you know, you really need to.
Yeah. Therapeutically, it's usually anger issues and rejection. You know, those are the two main that I've come to with my experience, and I've been a therapist for some years. You know, that part of the healing aspect. The point is that if you don't begin to deal with those hurtful issues that we were all brought up with, because there's no perfect families, there's no perfect parents, there's no perfect society. So we're all brought up in a deficient way, especially those of us that are melanated. You know, there's more than just society, you know, that's aiming to keep us in a certain condition. So introspection is the key. Introspection being as your life unfolds and the troublesomes come. There's a reason why trouble comes. There's a reason why there are many mango trees in the forest, but there are certain mangoes that taste better than others. What's the reason for that? The nutrients in that particular tree, the genetic pattern, the nutrients in that particular season for that particular tree. Right? So it's the same thing in us as we are upside down trees, certain kind of way. Our locks are going to heaven, which we get nourishment from the heavens. And so the analogy is that if you don't begin to search and introspect, look at yourself from the inside on a continuous basis, then you will be manipulated, cajoled, suffering pain, suffering problems, trouble, and it ends up in death. It ends up confinement and then death. You know, you're confining yourself, you're holding yourself back, you're holding yourself within. And that causes ailments. That causes, when energy doesn't get a good flow, blockages come, it's a problem. That is illness. That's one of the definitions of disease. So, also emotional disease. It's the same thing. You know, we have to be able to take the courage when one person says you did this, another person says you did the same thing, the third person says you did the same thing, 3 people tell you they did the same thing, you did that. The people did those. That's usually what happens. One person could be mistaken, 2 people could be mistaken, but 3, no, not like that. That's your behavior, and they're reflecting your behavior, and you need to address it. And if you don't address it, it spills over into other people's lives. And when that happens, then you lose control, because it starts with self.
Yes. So community. Yes, community. You're a part. We are each other's keepers, so to speak. You know, and there is ways that you could get help if need be. So a therapist, trusted elder with wisdom.
The Elders Council.
The St. Croix Council of Elders, for example.
We're right here.
Yes,
You know,
definitely. So,
and that's what it's, as you heard, that's what it's set up for. Part of what it's set up for.
yeah. Oh, and let me say this as one of the proverbs shared from the St. Croix Council of Elders. It's an African proverb, and it says, "A village without elders is like a tree without roots." A village without elders is like a tree without roots.
Absolutely. So the elder within yourself and the elder that is external. Both of them. Right?
Yeah.
You're a master teacher, listening to your master teacher, and then listening to the teachers that are around you. You know, that's and they come in all sizes, even elders, and you know, I learned so much from my children about me, and about how I am. You know, it's just the reflection of or the point of following through with punishments was a major issue in my house, and the result of that has been devastating for the children that were involved. And so that experience has taught me that you cannot be a friend to your children. That comes when they're come 29, 30, or 40, right? Then you can be friends. But while they're children, while you're guiding and strengthening their character and building their knowledge base, you have to be a disciplinarian and a gentle parent. Gentle parenting is very, very difficile. Especially in this society, and how we are conditioned to certain foods and keeps your body jacked up. And when you begin to see what's really going on, all the institutions, and how that has affected us, then certainly introspection is the key, you know. And then if you want to guide the Ma'at, the 42 Declarations of Innocence, the Ma'at is a full guide for your behavior modification and change, transformation of behavior through the Ma'at. And if more of us, and a lot of sisters are always ahead in a certain kind of way. They have to be. They bear the next generation, so they have to be ahead as a populace, as a part of the family. But us men, we have to take a more conscientious and direct movement in the area of spirituality before the Bible. Because all the scriptures have come from us, melanated people, throughout the world. But there are some scriptures that came way before the Bible. Even though the Bible's an important book and has lots of wisdom and tremendous stories, but we have information that comes before that.
And with that said, I know we have mentioned it's mentioned about Ma'at a couple of times, and some people may be wondering, what is this Ma'at? And I think it would be very, beneficial for the knowledge to be shared. And I can see where we will probably have to do
we'll do a training,
presentation, training,
yes,
we have to be able to share knowledge, with each other. Because if we don't, then it's like knowledge needs to be shared if we expect to have an improvement in our society. Because if there are ways to deal with issues and people don't know how to deal with issues, then what we see on the outside may be very chaotic because they just don't have that knowledge. So
and experience, it's and once it, like you're right, once it's shared, and here is a perfect example of where we are in C.H.A.NT, the C.H.A.NT Cultural Center, and what the Council of Elders do and what C.H.A.NT does. We have an opportunity to really grow from the inside out by solving and having solutions to our own problems. Mm-hmm. Our problem is unique, post-traumatic syndrome that we have had from the Caribbean, from the States, from Africa, from Asia, from all over the world, where melanated people are.
Yes.
You know, art is unique, and so there's unique solutions.
Okay.
And our ancestors saw this, and that's how Ma'at really is so dynamic and so powerful.
All right, so definitely stay tuned to us because we will definitely look forward in having, as I said, we have different committees that we can definitely utilize to get such information out there. So whether it be our skills committee, which also responsible for having the workshop, skills workshop with C.H.A.NT. We have the Home Gardeners Committee, which is under Department of Agriculture. That's our department that they have initiated harvesting every 3 months. And we have the Education Committee, Public Affairs Research Committee, and I'm seeing where under education we can definitely have such forums or further discussions, teaching, so we can do this, and I'm encouraging anyone who's willing to be a part of us, because you will see yourself in UCU. Gravitate to the areas that where your gift, I would say, really shows up.
That's right.
And you can do some great things not only for yourself but for our community. So it's a nonprofit organization, and this is a very unique union, labor union. It's not just focusing on bargaining, for employees, but this is community. So we are a community. If you're unemployed, self-employed, even retired, you can still be a part of UMOJA Caribbean Union, and we can definitely grow.
That's what's so beautiful. It's opening for everyone. And that's what we need. We need everyone in the community to be considered, and their interests to be considered.
Most definitely. Wow. See that we have 3 minutes remaining. I'm going to give you our phone number because at 5 o'clock, a little after 5, probably 1 minute after 5, information will be shared, especially to our online radio audiences. Okay, so tune in to our online radio audience. Please stay tuned to us. Okay, you might just win a gift. It's a copy of the Cane and Corn Fest that we had on September 2nd.
Copy.
Yes.
The original first one.
Yes, exactly. So we had some dynamic speakers. We had Dimitri Copeman, better known as Pikey. He definitely shared some wisdom about corn. And we had our beloved... We had our beloved Mario C. Moorhead, who spoke. He just summarized it in one. So you want to hear what he had to say. We had a statement that was written by Genevieve Whitaker, Esquire. That was read to those who attended. And as we were going to say, we had performances by Kilimanjaro.
Ross and Iami, the dub poet.
Dub poet. Mm-hmm. And West End Masqueraders.
West End Masqueraders. They did an excellent job.
Yes.
Excellent.
It was a real sacred moment, definitely. Our first Cane and Corn Fest.
The ancestors were there.
Most definitely. I felt that. I mean, I'm glad you felt that. And to me, it was just a welcoming to do more. So that's why, that's what inspired having harvest every 3 months. So if you haven't already gotten your seedlings.
Hey, my sorrel are doing great.
All right. So sorrel, if you're growing sorrel, okra, pigeon peas, and beets, those are the 4 crops that we're promoting, because come December we are going to harvest, do a little fest, around those those crops that were planted, okay, and
then it could be every quarter.
And it is actually the whole idea is to do it every quarter.
Okay, right.
So looking forward to see what are the other crops we're going to select. Mm-hmm. So please, doing great things. Stay tuned. on our online radio. Again, let me share the link with you if it's not posted where you can see it actually. It is ucutalkshow.my12mr.com. So 12, that's 12, okay? The number 12. You don't spell it out, just write the number. So it's ucutalkshow.my12mr.com, okay? Because we are going to turn off from our Facebook live right now in a couple seconds actually. ucutalkshow.radiostream321.com. That's another link you can go to tune into our online radio. So thank you Facebook audience for viewing.
Yes.
And please share. It will be also posted in a moment. Thank you.
Hotel.